It's not unusual for a customer to have issues with a business when they don't get the kind of service that they expected to. But is it always the business's fault, or are there times when the customer has to take some responsibility? Well, let's look at this story and you tell me. This is Maria and her young son, and together they're going to be flying an 8-hour flight on Finnair. For much of the flight, her young son sleeps, which is totally cool. I don't know how anybody gets a young child to sleep for that length of time on an airline. That in itself makes the story pretty amazing to me. But regardless, at some point he does wake up, and guess what? The little guy is hungry. So Maria calls over the flight attendant and asks if there's any food available. The flight attendant very politely says, "I'm sorry, we can't provide you with any food because the service has closed. Can't sell you anything at this point because we're going to be landing in 45 minutes. So now Maria's really pissed because the airline not only won't sell her any food, but they won't even give her any snacks, no cookies or crackers or pretzels or nuts or anything, because the flight will be landing in 45 minutes, which apparently is too close a time to be giving out any food. So at this point, Maria does what any responsible parent would, whips out her phone and starts sharing her experience on Instagram. So the story goes viral, and the response seems to be evenly split between the airline not showing a decent level of customer service and Maria for not being a more responsible mother and making sure that she had enough food with her for her kid when he wakes up. So who's right in this situation? Well, here's my thoughts. First, the airline. I don't believe for a minute there was nothing on board that they couldn't give this kid, whether it be some cookies or nuts or like anything. I mean, really, to say that there's nothing they could do because of policy is not a good way to go. As we all know, and if you've seen some of my previous videos, you'll know that policy is not the be-all and end-all of how you do things. Those are called rules. Policies are more guidelines to help you know which direction to move in, but still give you some freedom to make a responsible decision based on the situation. There's no reason someone couldn't have gone to the back and grabbed a little something just to keep the kid satisfied until the plane landed. Now, when it comes to Maria, I'm in agreement with most of the internet that she should have planned better with regards to traveling with her young son. I can't believe for a minute she walked through this entire airport and didn't have time to go into any of the stores to grab any kind of snack that he could eat while on the flight. She assumed that she'd be able to just order whatever she needed from the in-flight service. Now, technically she might be right, but here's the thing. My belief has been that no customer should ever believe that they are entitled to have the business compensate them or cover for them or accommodate them due to their own poor planning. Now, should the airline have been able to give them something? Yes, but here's the thing. At the end of the day, you got to take some ownership for your own situation. She clearly has traveled before with her son. After all, they were on a flight back home. So I don't know why she couldn't have stopped off at any of the stores in the airport to grab something that she knows he would like, something she could give him at some point during the flight if need be. Now back to the airline, the executives have publicly stated that this was a policy that they follow. I don't think that was a great response. What they should have said is, you know what, we're sorry, we screwed up. We'll make sure we get it right in the future. So what do you think? Should the mother be held accountable for her situation because she didn't bother to buy any snacks ahead of time? Or should the airline be on the hook to make sure that customers are fed even when they're given ample opportunity to purchase any snacks or food they want over the course of the flight, but at some point they gotta close the kitchen? And if you miss that window, too bad. I welcome you to share your thoughts below, and you know I'll answer back.